a bit wary about joining the program because for me, 15 months seemed like a big commitment, and it was going to be a lot of time. And I was expecting it to be basic and less than it actually is. I thought it was just going to be very entry-level stuff. We weren't going to learn that much, but after I joined and made bonds with my brothers, I realized that it is something that I want to do. And 15 months seems like nothing now. I wish I could do it even longer if I could. I have another question for you guys. What was the favorite thing you learned from your time in the program?
I'll take this one first. Well, aside from the coding, coming to the program, I was really looking forward to being able to learn how to code and being able to explore that area, But, 3 months into the program, one of the biggest takeaways that I have, or one of the favorite things I've learned, was about the actual leadership aspect of the program. So we have like entrepreneurship and life skills and all that stuff. I feel like that's a lot more important than the coding, because the coding will get you far, but then this whole entire community aspect with the Hidden Genius project is just so much more valuable. You have connections with big companies, and just with your brothers, you'll have them there after it's all done. The program's done. So I feel like that's the most important thing I've learned from this program so far.
Yeah, so my favorite thing that I learned during the program is probably going to be creating my first website. Even though it was like a basic and simple project, it meant a lot to me because it opened up a gateway. It showed the potential I had and how doable computer science and creating websites are. It showed me, it made it a lot less intimidating to the rest of the program, because if I'm able to just create my first website within the first week, just from doing nothing, then by the time I'm done with the 15 months, I'm going to have a lot of skills acquired.
I agree with you.
Yep.
And you got a question?
Yeah, I got one. How did you guys like the life skills and leadership that was taught here?
Okay, so I'll start this off. For me, life skills and leadership, they were a great experience. Both taught us skills necessary for our lives in the future, working different career paths. But if I had to choose one, I'd say I'd choose life skills, just because it teaches us the things that we need in order to become entrepreneurs in the future, work at jobs under a boss or even our own boss. It teaches us how to be professional and just how to work with others well in a good way.
Yeah, I agree with you from the leadership to the life skills. And kind of like what I was talking about earlier, just so much more that you could take away from the program. And I have a question for y'all, one quick one. What is the biggest takeaway so far through the program? So it's 3 months into the program, 12 months to go. What's the biggest takeaway you guys have?
For me, it's just learning how to reach out to people. You know what I mean? Because we're constantly helping each other and needing help from each other. If I hadn't reached out to my brothers, or people weren't reaching out to me, or we weren't helping each other constantly, then I probably would have struggled a lot through this program. But that really helped me thrive. So if anybody here is watching that is planning on joining the program in the future, make sure that you try your best to learn how to reach out to people and improve your social skills, because that's going to really help you in life gain connections.
Yeah, I agree with you, Noah. I just want to build off what you said. I would say my best takeaway is also my ability to now make connections, and the connections that I already have. Because business connections, you need those for the future. You're not going to be able to get anywhere without the help from others. You can always work by yourself, but it's always going to be better if you have others in the same field that you can look up to or work with, just so that you can create projects easier, work together, get it out there more.
Yeah, I agree with you guys. Kind of like the Ubuntu concept. I am because we are. I feel like that's one big takeaway from this project. But also, another big one that I have is just don't take things for granted. Coming to this program, I wasn't expecting the scale of it. I was, kind of nervous about a 15-month program, was not ready for it mentally. But as I gone on with the help of my brothers and just the help of the YEs, the teachers, the educators, it's just been so much easier, and it's kind of been a breeze so far. It's going to be able to become easier along the way, and that's kind of like the main concept. But don't take it for granted. If you get an opportunity like this from my brothers, don't make sure you get the best out of it. Make sure that you hold your connections out to the program. That's one thing I'll make sure I'll do. Stay in connection with my brothers, and also just the Ubuntu concept. That's like the biggest takeaway. And do you guys have any other things?
Yeah, I just wanted to add on to what Xander said. There are people out here to help you, so don't be afraid to reach out at all times, because people are here to help you and support you and build you up.
Yeah, I think I'm all good here. I just wanted to once again thank our MCs for hyping us up, and just introducing us and bringing all the fun into here. Thank you guys.
Yeah, and I think that we'll kick it off to the MCs now. Thank you guys for attending this so far, and I hope you guys continue to have fun.
Yep. Peace.
Man, that was amazing. Y'all still having a good time? Because I know I am. I'm lit and I'm happy, bro. Thank you for Xander, Kaylin, and Noah. Those words were amazing. I agreed with so much of those. That said, it's time to get town business in the building. I don't know if y'all got that. Y'all saw what I did? Town, Oakland, town business. Yes, sir. You know the vibe. At this moment, I get to invite my brothers, Jakor, Andrew, and Hia, from what I know, what I say is the best cohort, Oak 8, to join me for some reflections on our summer experiences. Please enjoy.
Hi, what's up, everybody? I'm Andrew Rebecca. I'm currently 16 and a junior in high school, and I'm affiliated or actually a part of Oakland 8 for the Hidden Genius Project, which is a program that basically trains and mentors Black youth, young Black males in technology creation, entrepreneurship, and leadership skills to transform their lives and communities. And it was through that program that I was able to basically create my personal webpage that we worked on this summer for today. And that's what I'll be presenting, basically. So let me set that up real quick.
Actually, Andrew, we're gonna have a quick interview before, and then you guys can show your websites. Hia, Jakor, and Andrew, you guys are here.
Yeah. So,
how you guys feeling on it tonight?
Good. That was pretty cool.
Lit.
Yeah, you guys MCs, man. That's awesome.
What you say? Go ahead, brother.
I said you MCs are awesome. I said that's it. That's it.
Yeah, we're having a good time. I know you guys. Are you guys still having a good time?
Yeah.
Yep. So we're just gonna have like a small discussion. Just gonna talk to you guys, and we're gonna have a good time. So I'm gonna put out the question first. What is your overall experience with the program so far?
Me personally, it's just been good so far. I haven't had really any problems. I really enjoyed summer and just being with the program on daily on a weekly basis. I guess. It was a really good learning experience and just bonding with the people in the cohort. And so that was pretty fun. Despite me being the oldest.
Yeah. I love how you keep reminding us that, but I respect it. I gotta put
it out there. Just gotta put it out there.
Yep. Anybody else want to go next?
Yeah, for me, it was a really great program because of all the things I learned, really, you know what I mean? And things I didn't really think I was going to be doing, you know what I mean, and learning. It just I learned it and still am learning, you know what I mean? I think I'm pretty good. I'm getting pretty good at it, you know what I mean? Expanding my, horizons and learning new things, you know what I mean? I think that's really fun. Thank the program for that.
Yeah, I agree with you, Jakor. This program has been so amazing, and it's not even I'm not even done with it, bro. Even not even just how do I even put this? That's how exciting this is. You know what I mean? It's so exciting. I met new people in this program. I learned so much new things, and overall, this program is just fun.
Definitely. Before we go on, I just got something I want to say. Y'all see these shirts? I know y'all see these shirts. Y'all show y'all shirts right quick. We're going off. These are amazing. It's comfortable and everything. All right, so my next question is, we've heard it so many times, it's a 15-month program. Seems like a long experience. What are their feelings about being here for 15 months?
Like me personally, I guess I kind of was intimidated, but then just like knowing the fact that I'm getting paid to learn, really enticed me. And so that was my main incentive for joining the program.
Yeah, it's kind of like what Andrew said, like, 15 months, like that seemed like a real long time, you know what I mean? And I had a couple of other summer jobs and things I was planning on doing, but I decided to make the commitment and go do this Hidden Genius project and this whole program. And I think it's really paying off because I'm getting paid and I'm also learning a whole lot of things I could take with me, you know what I mean, for any future careers I might choose, you know what I mean? So that's what I really like about it.
Yeah, I agree with what both of you guys said. At first it sort of seemed intimidating, especially with the fact that I was also going to have school on top of this program. But I joined it. I got also support from this program for school. If I was like having trouble, I got asked a couple questions. Somebody called, and to know that I'm getting help from this program outside of the program is a pretty amazing thing. So overall, I'm actually glad now that this program is 15 months.
Yeah, that's good to hear because I was the same too. I saw 15 months at a computer for 15 months, but I'm really glad I signed up and I'm really glad I'm here. It's lit, like every day, learning and experiencing what we experience, especially the brotherhood. Nothing can top it. All right, so my next question is, what are some life lessons, not just coding lessons, but life lessons you've learned so far?
I guess I could start that off, but I don't know, because the most of the stuff that we learned through the leadership, through the program was stuff that I already kind of knew and was aware about, in the world and stuff. But it did help me get closer to people who are just like me, because in my area, they're not like a lot of black people or just black people in general that I can just really hang out with like that. But
Yeah, I agree. It's the brotherhood aspect for me, you know what I mean? All of us here as a group, you know what I mean? People I can relate to, and all of us, practicing our coding, you know what I mean? And learning something and uplifting each other, you know what I mean? I think that's a really cool thing, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I want to agree with both of you guys, especially something I also learned was how to speak up in front of multiple people, because I had to do that when I first joined this program. I didn't, like anybody else, I didn't really know anyone in this program. It took us a while to know each other, but now that we do, we have a pretty good relationship with each other. So I just want to say that's one of the main things I've learned from this program, speaking up in front of other people and for myself.
For sure. The brotherhood, like I said earlier, it's crazy. It's awesome. Something we learn and something we get to experience. It's not just something we learn or experience for these 15 months. It carries us for a lifetime. So I'm going to ask you just one more question, and then I want to see you guys' websites. So my last question is, what was like one of the high points, like the big excitement, like, oh my gosh, I did this, about making your website?
For me, I guess my high point was just like what you just said, like, oh my gosh, I did this. Just completing the site was, the biggest high I ever had in creating the website. But besides that, when it comes to the lows and stuff, I'd say it was all the trial and error I had to do, because coding is a lot of trial and error. And in the program, it's not like they're going to teach you every little single thing, right? But they are going to teach you the fundamentals just to get started. And then everything else that you want to do or learn in the future is stuff that you basically have to figure out and go fish for by yourself.
Yeah, I say a high point for me was definitely getting my form to work on my website. That was definitely one of the high points, because I was working at it for a while. And then when I finally got it working, it was kind of like a yes, finally did that, you know what I mean? And I seen all my website all coming together, you know what I mean? That was really cool for me.
Honestly, one of the high points for this website was basically completing it, because like Andrew sort of said, the lowest point of it was the trial and error, having like you would, for example, if you even missed like if you misspelled a tag, or if you did something wrong, it would like take you a couple of days to figure that out. But then once you figure it out and like it's complete, what you want is complete, I feel like that's the best feeling in the world. You did what you wanted. It's actually out there. You know, how do I just a feeling where you're so excited, you finally did the thing you wanted. So that was one of the highest points and the lowest points, trial and error, and actually completing the website.
Yeah, definitely. The feeling of looking at your website and saying, wow, I did this. Like, I know for me, I didn't know how to code. I did some small coding classes before, but I barely knew how to code. And then to see what I did, it was amazing. One of the main words besides algorithm that Baba says is epiphany. And that's like one of the greatest feelings when you don't know what to do and then you figure it out. It's just so uplifting. And so now after hearing all this great stuff about your websites, I want to see some of it. Like, just give me a short synopsis or just show me your website and let me see what's up.
Yeah, I'll start off from there, I guess. So yeah, as you guys seen or like heard, I already kind of went through my intro with the Hidden Genius project and stuff. So I'll just like go ahead and start presenting my website. Yeah, so this is my website right here, but before we get into that, I also want to go ahead and like show what led to me creating this website, like what inspired me to go this route. So basically this website right here is Color Studio. It's not my website, but it's what I base mine off of. And what they are like an organization that basically brings together different artists internationally from around the world, have them come into like their own little studio, right? And do live performances there, in which they post on their YouTube channel known as Color Show. And I thought that was pretty cool, and I really liked the design of their site and stuff. And not only that, but just like what they, like their message and what they stood for basically as an organization, I really admired. And so I kind of wanted to recreate their own page, but in my own image, basically. So moving on, it's my page. Yes, I named it the same thing, Color Studio, because as I said before, in my own image. And yeah, so we're gonna start up back here at the top. So here we got this navigation bar that like travels with you and stuff, right? And it's pretty unique in my opinion because of just like the color scheme and functions added onto it. I haven't seen those two combined like the way I'm saying this is right now. And what I mean by that is like you have this like dark gray over here and then black on the bottom, and then we got these highlights with the magenta red lighting up the text and stuff. But moving on,
Andrew.
Yeah,
you're doing amazing, and I'm really glad to see this. But just give us like a short synopsis for time's sake. But like, I'm really loving this. Like, it's amazing. Like, awesome.
Yeah, for sure. But, like, okay, so here we're at the highlight section, and this is basically like my favorite artists at the time and everything. And so I really wanted to include them in here because, in my opinion, they were underrated. And moving on. As you just saw, like once you press something on the navigation bar, it will scroll down to the section. And here we're at the Stay Connected section where you can input an email and stuff. Like I'll put something random. And once you've done so, it will basically like notify you that you've received that email. Going to the Explore page, this is basically like the artist gallery. And so when you click on like one of the pictures in the gallery, it will send you to like the personalized artist page in which I made, right? And each of these things right here link to different videos that the artists have basically put out. And they could be like music videos or like visualizers and stuff. But the one I put right here is basically like the song that she did, that Georgia Smith, the artist here, did a live performance on at the Color Show thing.
All right. And Andrew, just show me like one more main thing, and then we're gonna have to wrap it up. But I'm really liking it.
Yeah. So we got this. Actually, I'll move on to the login page. So basically, we got like a login right here for you to just like log in and get your account information and stuff. We have like a forgot password page, so you can get that password reset. And we also have a sign up page, so you can just sign up with us, get started and stuff.
Thank you. Yeah, thank you, man. This was really, really great. Great job. This is awesome. And I'm so sorry that I didn't get to see all of you guys' website for time's sake, but I really enjoyed it because I've seen some of your guys' website and it's like really amazing. I was glad to talk to you guys. Like, this was a really great opportunity.
Yep.
Thank you.
All right, brothers, peace.
All right, peace out, man.
Wow. Just thank you. That was so amazing, Glenn. The way that you present, the way that you speak to them and really help them understand the questions. And then the brothers with the beautiful answers and the beautiful websites. That was just amazing, man. I gotta give props to you. So, thank you, fellas. Around here, they always say that we're geniuses for life. So alumni Aidan Dudley, Jai Miller, and Julian Wilson of Cohort 6 will share their summer experiences. Let's show some love in the chat. Thank you.
Hey, what's up? Good evening, everybody. My name is Aidan Dudley. As Heston greatly stated, I'm a part of Cohort 6. I'm a junior right now, so I'm in the 11th grade, and I go to St. Joseph Notre Dame High School.
I'm Julian Wilson. I'm also part of Cohort 6, and I'm a junior at Bishop O'Dowd High School.
I'm Jai Miller. I'm also part of Cohort 6, and I'm a junior at St. Leandro High School.
Awesome. Excellent. So this was our first year as being youth educators, and I think we can all agree that it's a whole lot different from when we were geniuses, right? So first question I want to ask is, what was the biggest difference for us as it relates to like from being a genius to being a YE? What was the biggest thing that was different?
I would say just from a teaching perspective, learning how to teach is a lot different than learning how to just code, because you got to learn the code in a way that you can teach it to somebody and help them out with all the bugs and kinks, because you're going to get a lot of mistakes at first teaching people how to code, a lot of bugs and everything. So it's a lot different learning code in a way to teach it to somebody else.
Yeah, going off of what Julian said, I believe it was like trying to teach. I mean, you know how you're explaining it to yourself, but you don't know how others are perceiving your explanation. So you have to learn how other people are perceiving your explanations.
Yeah, I totally agree with you. I think the biggest thing for me was, kind of being able to explain, just as Jahi said, it makes sense in my mind, but it does not make sense to my group. So, I had to work a lot with kind of conveying my ideas to the group, a lot of screen sharing. For me, the biggest difference, though, was that I was kind of in charge, right? Meaning I was in charge of the pod. I was the one kind of leading the group. And when you do that, it's different from like when you're kind of encouraging the group, because, back when we were in Cohort 6, we had been together for 15 months. And so that whole time we were kind of always growing closer to each other. And we were always being able to build off of each other. We had very close relationships, right? So when we came into being a YE, you don't have those same relationships, right? You're not as close with the brothers that you're teaching as you were with the brothers that you graduated with. So I think that we had to get in, get in with the group at first, right? Get everybody feeling comfortable with each other. Everybody got to trust each other. And then that, after that, it was a lot easier for us to kind of open up, teach, enjoy ourselves, and kind of make progress as it relates to finishing apps and learning about what it means to be a Black man today. So what inspired you guys to become YEs? And when did you guys know that you guys wanted to become a YE?
I think just going throughout the program, seeing all the YEs that helped us throughout the 2 years. There's a bunch that came through the program. So it was really just seeing them help us out and kind of really push me to make me want to help out the program more by being a YE, help as much as I could. That was the main reason why I wanted to be a YE.
For me, it was a little different. Like, I wanted to kind of experience being a YE because I wanted to learn how to teach better, because I was a pod leader, and I feel like I didn't portray how I wanted to teach to them. So I wanted to kind of learn how to teach other people in a business environment.
Yeah, I totally feel that. For me, I would just say it's it's the best way that I know I can pass on kind of what I gained from the Ingenious Project, right? I felt like it was only right for me to give back to a program that gave so much to me in the first place. Because when I was in the program, right, I had learned a lot. I learned so much about what it means to be a Black man. I learned so much about what it means or how I kind of carry myself in today's society, right? I learned so much about myself. I learned so much about my brothers. And it was a brand new experience for me, right? So when with all of that, I also learned different coding aspects, right? A lot of computers, a lot of technology stuff. And I also learned different stuff about leadership, what it means to be a leader in our society. right? So how has kind of like our learning, right? Because even though we're still YEs, I feel like we still had a lot to learn in our first year as being a YE. So how did that, how was that kind of like a different style of learning? How did you guys learn differently from when we were geniuses?
Well, like as I said before, learning in this aspect, you got to learn how to code to learn the code to be able to teach it to somebody else. So I think that it takes a different viewpoint of learning because you actually got to understand everything completely. And then I would say like making lesson plans, trying to help out the geniuses as much as they can, help them in a way that helps them learn. That was a lot different to me.
Yeah, kind of with me, like you had to research what you were teaching beforehand, so you had to kind of figure out how you're going to teach it to the geniuses. That was kind of different.
Yeah, I totally agree with y'all because there were so many meetings before the summer started. I felt like it was back-to-back meetings. I almost couldn't keep up. But we were learning so much about what we were about to teach, right? And little did I know that all those prep meetings were so important in order for us to get prepared in order to teach these geniuses because I feel like when we were actually teaching the geniuses, they could tell and they could feel when we knew what we were talking about, right? And then they could also tell when we were kind of shaky and unconfident with what we were teaching. And so I feel like the biggest thing for me was just feeling comfortable with what I'm talking about, right? A big part of that would be probably for me the computer or the technology part, the coding part, because I did so much work with coding. However, I really only learned what I wanted to do, right, through coding, right? And there's so many different things that you can do with code that I then had to kind of learn for other people's different viewpoints of how they want to code and kind of help them do that. And so the biggest learning experience for me was just kind of broadening my my knowledge, right, on different coding languages. And I feel like that was, it was hard, but it was also very rewarding in the end. And then kind of our last question before we wrap up our segment, how easy was it or how hard was it for you guys to kind of get to know the geniuses, get on the geniuses side, get comfortable around the geniuses, and then also kind of help them towards their goal of not only finishing their websites and their projects, but also kind of learning a lot more about themselves and about Blackness in general?
I think Hidden Genius did a great job of keeping everybody connected during these troubling times. Every morning we had everybody in the main room. Everybody could talk for around like 30 minutes to an hour, getting ready to open up the road. So I think it just did a great job keeping everybody connected and to give everybody breaks before switching to different subjects of learning. So I think that was like a great way for everybody to connect with each other, everybody to start getting to know each other.
Yeah, I feel like Hidden Genius Project did a very good job at that, considering that it was their first time doing all online and having over 100 geniuses at once trying to navigate through the different groups and cohorts. I feel like they did a really good job at that.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think that the biggest thing was being able to have all of those geniuses, especially with a new location right down in LA. And I got to spend a little bit of time with the LA group, not as much as I wanted to. But from what I saw, everybody was handled and everybody was on their game and, everybody was producing, which is such a great thing to see because given the current circumstances with COVID and everything, it's still good to see somebody succeeding, right? It's still good to see a group succeeding. And I think that's exactly what the Hidden Genius Project did for me. And especially with the group I have, the people I work with both outgoing cohorts. So congratulations to you guys who finally graduated from the Hidden Genius Project. And then I also worked with one group, I think it was the Oakland group, Oak 8, which is the incoming Oakland cohort. And from what I saw, it was just, and from what I was able to be a part of, I think the biggest thing was just, kind of meeting them where they're at. Because everybody had different situations. And I know it was hard for everybody having to be on Zoom and still pay attention and still work to their project goal without people being physically around them to motivate them, right? But I think that, when I meet people where they're at, when we're in the Zoom and we're catting off or whatever, and we're just joking, everybody got that sense of community that inspires them to still continue to try to finish their project. And I think that was kind of the best thing. because then we eventually did get everybody to still finish their project. I think everybody was still very influenced and everybody was still very attentive for the most part in the virtual Hidden Genius project. So yes, thank you guys so much for listening to us. Thank you guys so much for coming to the Hidden Genius Project, supporting the Hidden Genius Project's event. We hope you guys enjoy your evening. And this is Oak 6 signing off. Thank y'all.
Thank you all.
That was cool. That was cool. I remember Aidan was personally one of our youth educators, and that man was just amazing, bro. He was going in, teaching us all the code while still being able to have fun. And so I really cherish and appreciate him for that. And I also appreciate all the youth educators out there that are putting out all their time and work and all their knowledge to help me, the young folks, get into coding. But anyway, DJ D Sharp, we're trying to get some more slappers, man. So spin them records real quick. We want to hear those slappers. Let's get into it.
Whew. Thank you, DJ D Sharp. Whew, wow. Thank you to all my alumni as well. I hope you guys can hear me. After spending 15 months going through the highs and lows of this program, it's always great to have a final capstone. It's always great to have a final capstone project to show for our blood, sweat, and tears. I would like to introduce Ezra Tramble of Oak 7, because he is going to bless us with his project for everybody's enjoyment.
Hello, everybody. Can you guys hear me?
Yes, sir.
Oh, yeah. Okay, great. Hello, my name is Ezra Tramble. I'm from Oak 7, and this is what I was working on over the summer. So cryptocurrency market is worth $340 billion. To put that in perspective, all the gold in the world is estimated to be worth $9 trillion. That's 265 times more than the cryptocurrency market. That's a big gap. That's a big room to make money. So where would my app come in? Say you're trying to invest and you don't know where to start. So you would come to my app, Lighthouse, to see what the market's looking like. So let's get started. So we're about to get started, guys. So if you don't have an account, you can sign up. But right now, I already have an account. So let's do this. Let's log in. So I already have an account made, and you just need an email and a password. Nothing special, but yep. Here's my password thing. Oh, I copied it. Yep. I was working on this app during the summer. I was grinding on it, so I'm glad I could present to you guys. So it's logging in right now. So it's gonna take a second. So right now, all the data is being pulled from an external database. We'll log in. Hold on. So right now, the cryptocurrency is getting loaded in. So what you see here This is the actual market of the cryptocurrency data, the cryptocurrency market. So what is a cryptocurrency, you ask? Bitcoin is a cryptocurrency. A cryptocurrency is a digital asset that you can invest in. So say you want to invest in Bitcoin. Bitcoin is the #1 cryptocurrency right now. Buying one Bitcoin would cost $11,000. But in this market, you don't have to buy the coins whole. You could buy them in pieces and invest. So say I want to buy Bitcoin. I bought it on a different app. You would come to my app to see how the coin's doing. So if you want to save the coin, you go over here, swipe left, save coin. You go to your coins to view the coin that you saved. Say I want to save another coin that's doing good, like Chainlink. Chainlink's up 22%, as you can see in this green number right here. So let's swipe left, save coin, go to my coins. So right here, Bitcoin and Chainlink are saved to my own coins. So you would go back here to it. If you're speculating on buying a coin, you could go to this page. So say Chainlink's not doing good and you don't want to look at it anymore, you could remove coin. It goes back. You want to remove Bitcoin too as well? Going back. So my settings page. This basically shows you just your email, just to make sure that you're in. You're into Lighthouse, my app. So, and then if you want to sign out anytime, you can sign out like this. Sign out successful. So this is the app I worked on this summer. I used Flutter that ran on top of Dart, and I was grinding on this. And the Hidden Gems project helped me a lot because when I first joined the program, I didn't think I would be here. I actually didn't really like coding that much, and then we worked on our websites. And then actually, since COVID hit, we ended up going to virtual. And Hidden Gems project did a great job of going to virtual and still getting the same curriculum and learning it, because I had to go to office hours to be able to finish my app. And luckily, right now, I actually published it to a testing software. So right now, I have a couple of testers testing my app for errors and things that would be able to improve my app and just all around usefulness. And I'm so thankful for the Hidden Gems project, because they showed us how to do leadership skills, engineering, or technology, being able to network, use the networks to further yourself. And I'm just very grateful. And thank you guys. Have a good night.
All right, Ezra, stay up there now. Don't go anywhere. Ezra, you still here? Let's get you on camera, boss man. Ezra, all right, remember that cue. Yep, thank you. Follows directions. I appreciate you, bro. Okay, thank you. You did a tremendous job just now. Hopefully everybody in the chat agrees. Can you show my guy Ezra some love in the chat, please? You did a tremendous job. Is Sharp around real quick? Sharp, can you give me like some mid-level money music somewhere? Is that possible? Not all the way up loud, just a little bit. It's all good. Okay. Sharp will be back. He'll get it. So I need to show you something, Ezra. I do need to tell on you for a second, because people are talking about you're on the grind and he's an enterprising young man. He's upstanding. Ezra mentioned that we shifted to virtual, and Ezra was the first genius to try and game the virtual system by uploading a GIF of himself sitting at his desk so that he could go do other things. So we didn't think Ezra was much longer for this world in terms of staying on the right side of the program. That having been said, he handled his business, as you can see. We're proud of him, and I guess that's a testament to what happens when you don't give up on our young people. So Ezra, can you read this? We're gonna have to shift this up. I'm gonna have to go.
I could
put all my business out there. One second. No, you can't see it.
As we scramble, 200 bucks.
Outstanding.
Wow.
One time, can we get some money music though, Sharp?
Thank you.
Just can we do the money dance? Can we get the money dance one time?
That's great.
Congratulations. So I wish I could.
Thank you.
But COVID. So I'm gonna just do it like that. Let me know. We'll get back on. I appreciate you. Congratulations. Now you can go.
Thank you.
So hopefully my guy David is in the breakout, if we can get him in here. But can we just take a moment to celebrate Brother Israel? Sharp, if you got anything for us, we'll take it. And I appreciate you keeping it going. Appreciate you keeping it going. There you go. There you go. You're looking like money. All right, you can fade that down, Sharp. I need my guy David Armstrong to get in if you can. And so go ahead, send them over, send them up. And we're all going to go back to business mode here if you let me. Thank you. And congratulations to everybody. I want to say thank you so much to everybody for coming. I know many of you are family and friends and know us really well. Some of you are new. I did want to, make sure, I clarified a few things about who we are today and why we do what we do. As I do that and as we work on getting David in here, then we'll go from there. So first and foremost, I know the mission statement video is a little bit off. If you just remember that the Hidden Genius Project trains and mentors Black male youth in technology creation, entrepreneurship, and leadership skills to transform their lives and communities. I want to give a special thanks to, first and foremost, our sponsors. And let me show you who they are. We mentioned that our accelerating sponsor is Kaiser Permanente. Our trailblazer sponsor is, Autodesk, of course, and our Pathfinder sponsor is X Matters. And of course, we're very fortunate to have a host of other supporters, champions, etc. But we really appreciate our folks at those organizations for helping us make sure we can do this. Shout out to DJ D Sharp on the ones and the twos. You can count them, ones and twos all day for sure. And then, of course, shout out to Brand Print, I should say, as we are the Hidden Genius Project. Got to say it right, for helping us with our event coordination. Obviously, there's a lot that goes into this. Shout out to everybody who's still here with us. We're about to wrap up, but we just want to make sure you understand why we're here. So thank you for still being here. I want to just give you a little bit of background, and David, thanks for being here. I want to wrap with you too, because you might have remembered some of this. Back in 2012, in your first year, the Hidden Genius Project launched. That year, we were mourning the loss of Trayvon Martin and Ricky Boyd. It was also an election year. You weren't old enough to vote next year. But it was an election year, and it was an important one, right, Justice, this year. And there was concern about representation and diversity within Silicon Valley. David, does that sound familiar for 2012?
Yeah, that definitely sounds familiar.
Does that also sound familiar for 2020?
Yeah, it is. Still sounds familiar.
Right. So the reason I bring that up is it's important for us to understand that if our jobs were to solve these issues, or if we were the silver bullet for these things, then the Hidden Genius Project would be a pretty ineffective program, right? Because at the end of the day, right, all these things are still happening. Now, of course, we're mourning Breonna Taylor. We're very much in an even more critical election year, it feels like, right? And there's no less concern about representation in the Valley. We've only added industries, obviously on the heels of the big news and quote from Wells Fargo CEO saying that the talent pool is too shallow for Black folks to work in banking, right? So if we were only focused on these things and everything outside of us, how could we get anything done? And David, I wanted you up because you are our first ever college graduate, our first ever 4-year college graduate for the Hidden Genius Project. We're super proud of you, brother. And you just graduated from where?
Cal Poly Pomona.
Cal Poly Pomona, stand up. And what was your major, good brother?
Computer Information Systems.
There you go. And you had a minor as well?
Yeah, so actually my major was business administrations and the subsection was computer information systems.
There you go. Really proud of you, bro. Really proud of you. And so, when we brought you in 2012, all these things were going on. But, just to understand why we're here, David, like in 2012, when our founders were creating this program, it was all about the belief, right? It wasn't about everything else happening outside. We weren't worried about what, company we could get you in, who was hiring, who wasn't. We weren't, trying to solve for systemic oppression, racial inequality, white supremacy, state-sanctioned violence, because we're not pulling those triggers, right? The reason why we're there is because we believed in you, in your brilliance and humanity, And we knew we were building a core of future leaders, folks who will vote, right? Folks who would be voted for, if you will. And David, I know you're a quiet guy. You may not be the like elected official, politician PD type, as Hakeem would say, but that doesn't make you any less of a leader. And we knew that's the piece we could control. And so when you think about that concern about representation diversity within the Valley, we're concerned about that to the extent that we're trying to remind you that you control your own fate, right? So we're not trying to storm the gates. We're not trying to knock down the doors at any company. We're trying to help you build networks, but also think entrepreneurially so you can control your own fate. And so, talk about where you are now 8 years later, not just having gone through our program, but just as a person who's had obviously a lot going on.
Definitely. So, man, first I want to say, I feel like it was just yesterday when I was at the Hidden Genius Project, Oak 1. And 8 years later, as Brandon said, I graduated from college. I've done numerous internships with CBS Interactive, Kaiser Permanente, and now I'm at X Matters as an operation intern. And just so far, I've really been learning a lot. And I think the Hidden Genius Project has really just prepared me for just the journey that I've been going through, as far as just being in college, just going through my computer classes, and really just getting the proper skills as far as entrepreneurship, problem solving, and also just being a leader and communicating within the team. And it's just been a crazy journey. And I'm just thankful to have Hidden Genius in my corner to help me every step of the way.
And we're thankful to have you, bro. We're thankful, for your leadership, also your humility. When we first built our team together and our full-time staff, we did a Catalyst program in San Francisco at the LinkedIn campus in 2015 in April. And, we were just trying to get our feet up under us, barely trying to figure out what we were doing. But lo and behold, there were you and your dad just there to support and put us on, man. And we were, so happy to see you there and so proud to have you represented. So thank you for hanging in there with us every step of the way. I did want to call something out real quick, just some of our key accomplishments. So, David, your first year, do you remember how many guys you had in your cohort?
I believe it was 5 of us in the cohort.
It was 5, right. And it was 5 geniuses. You had 5 core founders. All those numbers worked out real well. Now, do you have any idea how many cohorts we had this summer in 2020? How many cohorts, not students? How many cohorts?
Cohorts. Yeah. I believe it's over. Is 13?
We had 5 cohorts, so we basically had 120 young people that we brought in, of course, across California. We've served now, since you started, 14 cohorts, but we served, through our immersion program, 270 young people. And then, of course, through all the programming we've done, you might have heard about us getting overseas the last couple of years. You might have heard us, programming in, Atlanta, in New York, et cetera, et cetera. All these things going on. We've served over 7,000 young people now. And so it's thanks to you for believing in us. Thanks to your dad for needing to get you out the house so badly that he's willing to stick you with us for a little bit. And we're extremely appreciative. One thing I did want to share real quickly is tonight, if your heart is heavy, if you are worried about representation in the Valley, if you are worried about the upcoming election, if you are worried about, police violence, if you're mourning loss right now for anyone, Breonna Taylor, or anybody else, I just want to say, listen, the Hidden Genius Project cannot promise that those feelings are going to go away. We can't tell you that we're going to solve all that. Okay, what we're here to do is raise young people and leaders. For those of you who want to find a way to, try and do something, right? We always talk about flexing your superpower, right? So remember, if we want to make systemic inequality go away, if we want to create justice in our society, you've got to contact your local officials. You've got to advocate for, better laws, policy, et cetera. You've got to vote. You've got to talk to and hold our leaders accountable when CEOs of major corporations come on and say there's no black folks to hire. And we're just telling you that one of our sponsors, X Matters, just hired David and jumped on with, well, maybe that's why there's no black folks to hire for you, because David had to go somewhere that had enough sense to recognize how talented he was. And so hold the right people accountable. This program is not here to address, and change the hearts and minds of folks, right? Supremacy, dominance, racism, etc. They all start with the people who hold them, right? So, David, when we're working with you, it was never about trying to get you to change the CEO's mind, right? And so, but what you can bet that we're going to do is we're going to put our all into our young people. We're going to uplift our young people, believe in them, and we're going to give them an opportunity, just like we gave Ezra when he kept putting that darn GIF on. We're going to not give up. Right. And even as some of our geniuses right now are in a Zoom chat, apparently roast to me and my tie. I imagine most of them don't know how to tie a tie, and I'm here to help you, brothers, because I love you every day. You know what I'm saying? You can roast me, but every day I wake up privileged, right? Privileged to be able to work with you. I love you guys. So thank you. Roast on. But I want you all just to see that picture of resilience. When we look at these cohorts, when you look at, Los Angeles, launching in the face of a pandemic, when you think about the fact that the Hidden Genius Project has not missed a single session since March 13th, since shelter in place went into effect, that's resilience. It's not just the organization, it's not just the staff, it's absolutely our young people, it's absolutely our families who support them, it's absolutely our communities and everybody who rallied around us and has contributed, has, volunteered where needed, has provided in-kind support. So we're so thankful. And we just want to make sure we elevate that narrative of resilience, that we're not doing this work because, we're worried about our young people getting shot. And, there are times when we are, David, I'm going to keep 100 with you. But it's what you have to contribute. It's what you have to offer. It's what you have to give the world every single day. That's our number one concern. We want to make sure that you're safe, absolutely. But that's not enough. We want to make sure that you feel empowered to give, all of yourself going forward. So, as we get ready to conclude, David, you want to tell us what's next for you and what you hope to achieve and what your dream is?
So what's next for me is really developing in technology. I want to transition into a DevOps engineer, and hopefully after that transition and build something that I'm really passionate about that's going to help the community, because I think that's really what the Hidden Genius is about, is really empowering us with skills of entrepreneurship, leadership to give back to the community, empower the Black male youth and female youth. So, that's really what's next for me. And I also just want to give a shout out to the rest of the Hidden Genius cohorts, the new alumni. And you guys really just doing some amazing work. And also I want to give out a fun fact that Ezra, I found out a couple years ago that him and his older brother Gabe is my cousin. So
we all cousins, especially when we get that money. Hey, that's funny. Hey, everybody, this how David said, that's my cousin. Right as soon as the check went up, right? He was like, "Oh yeah, that's my cousin. I didn't tell you." Me and Ezra Trample go way back, all up in the family reunion. Now, that's what's up.
We definitely all family.
That's what's up. Well, the last thing I'd certainly want to let everybody know is, listen, we recognize that we can't solve all the world's problems, but I think we're doing a pretty great job working, with what we got. And we invite you all to continue to support us in the chat. I think we have folks who can, shoot you the link, shoot you the information so you can, invest in us and support us and flex your superpower. That's all we say is, at the end of the day, each of us has something we're great at. Each of us has a passion and strength. We teach that to our geniuses first. But for those of you in our community, it might be that, Sunday we might need you to volunteer in an event. We need far fewer these days than we did before. But, obviously we need a helping hand from time to time, as you could see even tonight. And it might be that you connect us with your company, or it might be that you, are able to just support us with in kind, or maybe just spread the word and just let somebody else know, because we've got partnerships we're building. We're working on some really exciting things we'll be announcing later in the year, and we have partnerships that should take us, again, as far away as London, again in Johannesburg, South Africa, where we programmed last year, but some cool places along the way. We're really excited about where we are, but even more excited about where we're going. And so I hope, for the sake of the geniuses to come, especially the ones that think they got jokes, please invest in them, give them that confidence so they can try and roast me. You know what I'm saying? But make sure they handle their business. So shout out to you, David. Really proud of you. We love you. Shout out to Ezra. Shout out to the geniuses. I want to invite the MCs back on so they can get this work real quick. And let's find out. So who, so no, make sure you've been saving them up. Exactly. So I'm saying, no.
Yeah.
Let's hear it. Go ahead.
No, hold on, I got you.
Go.
Like, we've been having a good time so far, but we can't finish without talking about Father Nicholson's tie. Brandon, who told you that tie was looking right when you got up? Like, who told you?
Who let you walk out the house like that, man?
First of all, I didn't walk out the house, Eston. So that's where he's wrong. That's a neck. That's a neck. Yep.